Coming up on the Below Deck Med After Show.
I don't think at heart she's a terrible person.
No, I don't
Disagree.
either.
There was so much upset that Lexi was still causing and she wasn't even there.
I think the table was split with, like, it's not an excuse to be mean to people, and, like, this is a lot she's going through.
Everyone's going through a f***ing rough time.
I just wanted to kind of say my piece.
Some people were just a bit more sensitive as to what was actually said or what had happened.
Lloyd.
I felt almost disembodied from the minute I woke up.
Lloyd's feeling really tight in the chest.
This is not Lloyd functioning at 100%.
Is it worse?
Obviously, Lloyd's not well. You know, getting him in a tender, getting him ashore is a priority for me to make sure he's okay.
The Below Deck Med After Show starts now.
The deck crew was called out by Captain Sandy after a less than perfect morning.
Please take the anchor ball down. Please take the anchor ball down.
Sake.
Copy.
We don't look like pros.
How you begin a season is how you want to end a season because everybody's excited and happy and every toy goes in the water.
So this morning, the client was out there looking for their own paddleboard.
But it seems like towards the end of the season, they start to get lazy.
You have 4 minutes. Change into your epaulets.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's gonna be a new...
David, get out on deck.
Oh, is this when I walked on deck and it was f***ing chaos?
Yes.
Mate, that was
I think
so
that's
hard.
that.
I literally got on deck and I can't remember where I was, but I wasn't on deck in like a rush because we were just going in. I just got dressed, just woken up. And Malia was like, get on deck now. And I was like, what the f***?
Please, now. Heaving line, set up, please.
I don't like feeling unprepared when going into dock. And if I had felt too unprepared, I would have asked Captain Sandy to slow down to give us more time. But with the crew that I had with the guys, I felt fine. We were fine. It might have not been our smoothest, like we didn't have all the time in the world to prepare, but we still made it happen.
This was one of the first mornings that I was going to be setting up all the lines by myself. I think that probably definitely falls back onto me for that morning, just in terms of prep for what we're going into.
No, it don't fall on you.
No.
It was one of those mornings. It was just one of those mornings. That's all it was. It was just, it doesn't matter if everything had been perfect. It was just one of those fucking mornings. Something was going to go wrong. So.
You know, this entire season has been a challenge, to be honest, because of the pandemic. I think the stress level on all the crew is really hard. I'm not going to come down hard on the crew because they made some mistakes.
Deck crew, you guys, you got to work it out. You were challenged with logistics, and you can be more focused.
If the guests aren't complaining about the deck team, it's not because we're not doing a good job. It's because we are doing a good job and we're just doing what is expected of us.
All of you, everything that you guys offered, you did with a smile and it felt real genuine. We really appreciate y'all's attitudes, so thank you very much.
We've been running at full capacity the whole time. We're bound to have a blip.
It's unfortunate that our blip came at that certain time when there's a stew down and we're trying to help out interior at the same time, a lot more than what we relatively would have been doing previously.
Everyone was doing their own little part to support everyone else. Like, we're not just deckhands, we're not just stews, we're not just whatever. We're a whole support network. And that's what we should have been commended on, not just torn apart a little because maybe a paddleboard wasn't put out.
In theory, as you go through a season, you should only improve, but sometimes people get tired, sometimes other things, anything can happen at any time in the season. I think as a deck team, we did improve. We improved massively, and I think we did keep improving. But as anything in life, you know, someone can have an off moment, or, you know, I think we were certainly trying. It wasn't the case that we weren't putting 100% in.
To get that far and have a bit of like someone coming down on you, a boss coming down on you is so I think we felt that. We felt that because we had come so far as a team.
This happens. You're going to have days where you forget a paddleboard. You're going to have days where you're exhausted. For me, it's important to get everyone together, especially at this point in the season, and just be like, right, we got to just keep going strong.
All right, guys, let's have a quick deck meeting. We have
crushed it. Everyone's been learning, and it really, really gets under my skin when we start making rookie mistakes. So what I want is for our next charter to absolutely nail it, because I know you're better.
It's more just like a pep talk to be like, we've got it. Let's just finish strong. And like, I'm not disappointed in anyone. It's nobody's fault. We're going to have those days. Next charter, we're going to like, you know, blow it out of the water.
Then for the crew night out, you go to another beautiful vineyard.
I think at this point we were exhausted and we're like going to this really cool vineyard. And I think everyone was just ready to have like a nice night.
Always the crew night out is fun. And I remember they were cooking mussels on this open flame, and it was so tasty.
To the gills,
the motley crew.
To the OGs.
I think we wanted to relax and chill out, but unfortunately there was still a little bit of a cloud lingering.
It was lighthearted, but then I think Lexi came up at dinner and it caused like a little conflict among the crew, you know?
This is my favorite night out. I think because Lexi wasn't here, and I'm so anti-Lexi.
I think it was like the first time we could really speak about it together, because obviously in the past Lexi was there.
We were not in a situation where as a group we could have discussed how we felt, how it's affected us, all of those things that maybe everybody needed to say all came out at the wrong time and sort of brought the mood down for what was an exceptionally beautiful vineyard dinner and lovely wine.
You were saying some things. You were saying like, I hate you, whatever. But you didn't like
take it to the next
She took it to the next level.
She's also going through a time. She's just lost her dad.
Exactly. We've just missed a full conversation about Lexi.
You know, I could see Malia trying to turn it and be like, look, like she is going through a time. Like she's just lost her dad. Like, guys, show some respect, basically.
Yeah, I think this is the night I get a little defensive.
Stop calling Lexi a nice person.
She's not a horrible person. She's going
No,
like...
she's the worst. I'm sick of all this Lexi defending.
Yeah,
I would also like to say that the yachting industry should...
There was so much upset that Lexi was still causing and she wasn't even there.
I think their table was split with like, it's not an excuse to be mean to people, and like this is a lot she's going through, and I think we should be understanding.
Some of the comments being made about Lexi came off like we were poking fun at her, and I just kind of was over it. I also didn't feel like Matt should get the last word. I felt like it should just be done. Like what happened.
I'm very stubborn. Like now, so far removed from it, of course, she was going through a lot. Her dad just died. My parents are alive. I don't know how I will process that. It won't be easy. So, yeah, Malia was probably way more right than I was. But in the moment, I have my opinion.
Why are we talking about her? She's gone.
I know she f***ed her massively, but I don't think at heart she's a terrible person.
No, I don't either.
Disagree.
She did some really yeah, okay, you disagree.
And then, you know, Courtney's frustration because she's also losing her dad. And she's like, well, I'm not acting that way.
Yeah, I think on that night, you know, we were all obviously drunk and we were in the vineyard, and I just obviously wanted to kind of say my piece, I think.
Do I think she's a terrible person? No.
Yeah, but everyone is
going through a tough time.
Everyone's going through a f***ing rough time, and like nobody else is taking out on other people.
Exactly.
I think I was just, you know, frustrated because I feel like whatever you're dealing with, you should never kind of take that out on other people. And, you know, everyone could have been going through their own difficult times, but nobody else was acting like she was, basically.
Everyone was upset, and I was trying to explain that it's just one of those stupid situations. Like, Lexi's who she is, she's gone, so it shouldn't matter now. Like, she said some horrible things, she wasn't a particularly nice person, but why are we still letting it affect us now?
I know that everyone deals with things differently, but no matter what you're dealing with, you don't have to be a people to like deal with something, okay?
It's not an excuse to be mean. And like seeing someone who's going through something equally hard and still being nice and not using it's not an excuse.
When we go through things, we all express or we handle them differently, you know, it comes outward. And I was just kind of trying to say, like, you know, I know that you're going through stuff, Courtney, and I'm not discounting that, but she's also going through things. So let's just let her leave in peace.
I never even knew that you were going through things, and you're such a legend. You are.
Some people are just a bit more sensitive as to what was actually said or what had happened.
We all have different emotions towards it. So I think that's one thing we need to remember is like everyone gets affected by things differently. So to try add that into a group and this sort of dynamic, I didn't think we needed to speak about it anymore, for sure. Like
Dave's all religious and
I'm not.
now.
Oh, just stop. Just Matt.
I'm sorry.
Matt, seriously, listen.
I'm sorry.
Just
go for
stop.
it, mate.
We had huge potential to move on from that point, but to still be stuck there was upsetting.
Yeah, each their own, but I don't think dwell on the past.
As the crew prepares for the final charter, Lloyd is not feeling well.
You're right. You're right.
Obviously, because we cabin mates, seeing him that morning, he did say that he was feeling a little bit under the weather, but I didn't think anything too much of it because, well, at that time, it just didn't seem like it was that severe as to what was going on. I think things were going a bit slower, but that was also just because I think we're all quite tired towards the end of the season, so I think that could almost be expected in a way.
What's wrong? Don't be stressed.
I'll be right in a minute.
That was sort of my initial reaction, not realizing the severity of the situation.
I think that's it. It was a combination between, you know, I think everyone was tired. I think everyone was feeling a bit under the weather, whether that be physically or a little bit in our heads and anything like that. Like it's right at that tail end, everyone does start to kind of slack a little bit.
I felt almost disembodied from the minute I woke up. I think we were having the meeting and I just couldn't focus on what was going on.
Lloyd, I'd like you on the bow because I just feel like you're the most comfortable up there.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be okay with that today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt exceptionally like I couldn't do anything that I wanted to do, and if I was doing it, I was doing it wrong. That just got worse and worse and worse.
That line is not all the way on deck.
Yeah.
I really need you to step it up.
Yeah.
When I had went to the bow and I saw that he had made a mistake with the line, that's when I was like, this isn't like a mistake Lloyd would make. And I think at first he said, like, I'm fine, I just need like a minute. And I was like, okay.
I think looking back now, it wasn't anything of a great mistake, but in my head I was thinking, I f***ed this completely and there's no coming back from it. And the more I felt like that, the tighter my chest got. Then I was thinking, I got these charters, I got other stuff to do, until the moment when it just became too much. That I was doing a physical activity, which was okay. I was pumping the thing, but my chest just went ridiculously tight. And then the worst thing was it felt like it just moved up and clamped into my throat. And that was when you see me retching off the side.
You just get sick. What's going on?
I don't know, I just felt a bit anxious. Just felt tight in the chest and my stomach.
Go get off the deck. Go chill out for a bit, okay?
This is not Lloyd functioning at 100%. So then I just, pulled him aside and said, look, just get off the deck. Go to your cabin, take a breather, go be alone. And I wanted to just let him be alone for a minute, but obviously I have to tell Captain Sandy that something's going on.
Sorry, I didn't want to call over the radio. Lloyd's feeling really tight in the chest.
It's a lot of work. Could the chest pains be from hauling in the lines? Is it muscular? Is it internal? I'm not a doctor. I need to assess Lloyd to figure out, hey, do you need a doctor? Why are you vomiting? Is it because you're hungover, or is it because something you ate? Is it food poisoning? So I want to make sure Lloyd's okay.
Is it worse?
Sorry.
I'm gonna have you lay down after this.
It got worse and worse, and I think he vomited in Captain Sandy's toilet, which wasn't exactly ideal, So not only was I having the situation, but I then kept doing stuff that made it even more stressful.
Obviously, Lloyd's not well, the vomiting, high blood pressure, getting him in a tender, getting him ashore is a priority for me to make sure he's okay.
Hi, it's Sandy. I'm sending Lloyd ashore because his blood pressure is really high. He has chest pains. He's nauseous. And I'm concerned.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Wait, what happened to Lloyd? It's already tight chest. He's like pale as
I think at that moment I did need to go somewhere quiet and speak with the doctor.
I was happy that Lloyd got taken off the boat because I think that's exactly what he needed. He needed to just get away from everything for a minute and have him like a minute away from everything going on. So yeah,